Hey everyone. I am going to take you on a journey with me. I am going to be up potting my Epipremnum, Amplissimum, Variegata. There we go. Look at, isn't it lovely? Lovely, lovely. It's time for it to go on its upsizing journey. It's a bunch of plants in this pot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up pot it because the roots are already growing down into the reservoir. It's in a self-wicking pot right now. And so the roots are growing down into that reservoir. So I have not had good luck with these Amplissimums and their water roots, and I'm not having root rot and all that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to address that before it becomes a problem with this plant. And I want to upsize this pot so I can get the plant on a pole here so it can start getting me those much longer pothos leaves like this. So I'm pretty excited about this plant's next journey. So to start, this is the Coco Coir pole. And what I've been using these poles for a while, and what I've noticed is that when they're exposed to either the leca or the grow medium, these eventually start to rot and break down. So to abate that as much as possible, extend the life of these poles, and possibly make it more upgradable, because these are extendable. You can stick another one down in the top of here and just keep going up. So I want to try and keep this from breaking down for as long as possible. So I'm going to cover it with a piece of PVC. So what we're going to start with is I'm going to use my hot glue gun to glue this piece of PVC around this base here. And then the next step is that I'm going to cut this off so it'll fit in the pot here. And then I'll add the plant. So I'm going to take you on that trip with me. So let's get started. I'm going to get the hot glue gun and I'll put these two pieces together. I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my glue gun here. I'm going to go ahead and stick a piece of glue in there, a glue stick in there. It's already got some glue in it. Oh, all right, so I'm going to start here and I'll come over and show you. I'm putting the glue on this wood base here. I'm putting it on there kind of thick because I want that glue to hold that piece of PVC in place. So I'll put it down here. Just put a big glob of it, and then I'll go ahead and add in another glue stick here to the back and just keep gluing. So yeah, just a glob of glue on that wood base. Put some further down just to give it a little more connection. All right, that should be good. And I'll take this piece of PVC, this piece, and so I'm just gonna slide that over like that and move that glue around and get it up there nice and tight and let it set. So that's the first part. The next part is I'm gonna use my chop saw outside and I'm gonna cut this down so that I will be able to actually get to that wood base stick point. And then I'm going to use my drill to connect this pole to the pot. So once it's cut, then that little piece of wood that's in there, I'm going to use that and drill a hole, drill it to the bottom of this pot. So that's what's going to happen next. So, okay, I'm outside and I've got 3 poles here. I'm going to cut them down to size on my chop saw here. And let me get that started. I got it all plugged up and I think I need to cut it to here. Yes, this one's marked. All right, these are all cut to length and I've got a little bit of wood exposed at the bottom of them. And I'll be able to use the screw to tap into that piece of wood to tie these to the bottom of the pots. So let's go back inside because it's cold out here. Okay, so next is to attach the pole to the bottom of the pot. I'm going to use my hot glue gun again, and I'm just going to put a little glue down here, the bottom of the pot, in the center, and I'm also going to glue this, put some glue on this piece of wood here. And this is basically just so that the post will stay in place while I use the screws to connect it to the pot. So I'm just going to put this in here, and I'm just going to make contact with the center there so that that's attached. Pole will stand up on its own, but as an additional measure of security, I'm going to use a drywall screw and drill into this piece of wood there with the screw so it's mechanically attached in addition to the glue. So there'll be a direct connection. I'm also going to add some wick cords into the pot so that I will be able to use this pot as a self-watering, self-wicking pot. So I'm going to put 2 wick cords in there as well. So I'm going to get my drills right over here, and I'll go ahead and put this, drill this hole and connect these 2. Okay, so that is actually physically connected now. So that pot and everything is set up. I'm going to use this and put my wick cords in here. All right, so those are in place, and I'm going to use my glue gun to kind of affix them to the sides of the pot, so they will stay up higher in the pot. Just put a little glue there and connect that there real quick. Do the same thing over here with the other one on the other side of the pot. Kind of seat that wick cord. That way, when I'm filling this pot up, the wicks won't fall all the way down to the bottom, and I'll have moisture coming up higher into the pot. So that's a plus. I think I'm gonna put my drill out of the way, and I can now put my glue gun away. And next up, we'll the plant out of the pot and get this going. So we're halfway there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm going to now extract the plant from its current pot. And let me see if I can get this up without doing too much damage here. You can see the roots are looking pretty healthy and are growing through the bottom of the pot. So I want to try and do as little damage as possible, but I don't know that that's going to be all that possible to extract this plant without damaging these roots. We'll see. All right, that looks good so far. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to get my potting mat out. I just put the plant in the pot. It's nicely seeded. I filled it with the chunky Aroid mix. The wick cords are in here, nicely elevated in the pot so that moisture will rise higher into the pot from the wick cords. The plant is positioned nicely, and it is ready, I think, for its next steps. So what I'm going to do now is to go and get a vessel that I'll be able to put this in real quick, and then we can get it watered, and that will pretty much complete this process. I'll be right back with the pot and the vessel. Okay, I'm back. So I've got a vessel for this plant to sit in. It is high enough to allow it to have a reservoir. I don't know if this will be the final vessel, but for right now it works. And so, yes, so I am going to set this aside, and I'm going to proceed to water this. I got my nutrients mixed up here, and I'm just going to water that and see if I can watch the progression of that water going through the pot and saturating everything. So I want to make sure it's good and saturated. And that is the beauty of these clear pots. I can actually see that and make sure there are no dry spots in the pot. And the plant is properly hydrated and watered in. I love it. Doesn't look like it's completely saturated, so I'm gonna recycle those nutrients back into the pitcher and continue watering. Okay, so that's it. That is the end. I've gotten the plant completely repotted. It's in a cover pot with a reservoir. It's on its Coco pole, and it is looking lovely, if I do say so myself. I might add, maybe a better moniker would be stunning. Isn't it stunning? I need to get that word in there. Yes. My Epipremnum Amplissimum Variegata. Thanks. And as always, if you would like to see more content like this, please like and subscribe. I'm Plant Rob, and thanks for coming with me on this journey of repotting my Epipremnum Amplissimum Variegata. Thanks. Have a good one.